It is no longer news that a 12-year-old boarding school student from Dowen College named Sylvester Romani Jr. was brutally beaten by the senior students of his school for refusing to join a secret cult in the school, which eventually led to his untimely death. Now, since this event happened, there has been so many reactions, questions unanswered, and even lessons to be learned. Now, all of these will form the basis for our discussion today on the program Matters on Ground. My name is Favor of Vienloba. I have my co-host in the studio and a guest. You get to meet them after the break. Stay with me. Welcome back. We're discussing the popular trending hashtag Justice for Sylvester, a 12-year-old who was brutally beaten by his senior students in school for refusing to join a secret cult. I'm joined now by my co-host Faith Imai and our guest. Our guest is a social media personality and a regular on the show. Please join me. Welcome, Mr. Kewe Modukbe. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Faith.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, good, thank you. It has been a very sad week for a lot of us. I would say both Nigerians in, at home and in diaspora. A very sad event happened. It's no longer news; it's everywhere. We're seeing it now. The hashtag is trending: Justice for Sylvester. Now, when this news broke, when you saw this online, what came to your mind? What was your first reaction as a parent, as a Nigerian, as an individual? What came to your mind?
I was quite saddened because we just lost a promising Nigerian, a young lad who the parents had created or has worked so hard to give the best of education to. And the system, I'm going to use the word the system because during the course of our conversation, I will get to expose some things why I decided to use the word the system. The system decided to terminate the life of this child abruptly. So it's quite sad.
You know, the crazy thing is, Dowen College is a very reputable school situated in Lagos and has been in existence for over 20 years. And from my research, I discovered that a lot of prominent people actually attended that school, and of course, they are doing well for themselves. Now, to me, it's not a Dowen College problem. It's a boarding school problem because I attended a boarding school and I firsthand got I felt what bullying was. Now, I do not know, Mr. Kewe Modukbe, have you ever experienced the hand of a bully or bullies? Or were you a bully yourself? Because I saw this event actually took me back to when I experienced mine back in school. It was an all-girls boarding school. And most of those girls who actually bullied me are parents today. And I saw most of them posting justice for Sylvester. And how quick did they forget that once upon a time, they were bullies? Did you ever experience this?
Okay, now, this word, bully, it's actually becoming a part of our culture, especially in Africa. And you see, a lot of persons, the so-called, I saw the hashtags, Justice for Sylvester, put an end to bully. There are some popular pages that I visit. So when I saw these guys advocating for justice for Sylvester, I just laughed because I know what they are involved, whatsoever influence they have so far on social media, whatever number of followers they've gathered so far on social media is as a result of cyberbullying. That's what has given them the so-called popularity the so-called platform that they have. And I see these guys talking about justice for Sylvester. I just laugh. I say, come on, why are we doing this sanctimonious? Because it's one person that have committed a crime, therefore it's a crime, and we are still involved in that kind of thing. Growing up with this, I have 2 kids. I see the way they interact. Just yesterday, I saw the way the elder one was trying to oppress the younger one. And I was not too pleased. So I called him. I said, come. He said he's not going to collect the phone. Must you force him? He said, am I not his elder brother? I asked him to collect. Why shouldn't he collect? And as parents, we allow these things slide because we feel that if you are the younger one, you should obey the elder one. And this guy, he gets to a point, he sees himself that whatsoever, because he's older, Because he's in the status, in the ladder of life, because he's higher than the other person, he feels he can ask you to do things and you have to do it his own way. And that's why you see online, you see people, if your opinion is different from the one that they are upholding, they want to slander you, they want to push you to a point that you accept whatsoever they are promoting. It doesn't make sense. So it's part of our culture and we're suffering from it now.
Sadly, Dowen College was shut down and a lot of people are excited about the news. But I would say a lot of, promising Nigerians as well attend that school. And if the school is shut down, it's going to affect their academics. Let's not forget that some other innocent children are looking for a way to move
this
forward.
story touched me, pain me. I don't even watch the video finish. Can imagine the pain this innocent boy went through.
So I find it difficult. I don't know how Lagos State government will be able to do their investigation when the school is not opened. That means if you shut down the school, that means the students will be made to go home. The only persons you will see is the management of the school and maybe some teachers, and which I believe that they are interested parties. So how are you going to gather your facts? The school should be in session, interact with the students so that they can be able to air their view. Now the students are at home, the parents would have debriefed them, they would have not an informed opinion now as far as this issue is concerned, they would have an opinion that is tilting towards the view of their parents. So even if you call them to ask them that what happened in school, they are not going to say things from their mind because you've already influenced these children. So the school should be in session. The investigation should go right there to the school environment, even check how they live in the hostel. Exactly. You can't even know now how they live in the hostel. So Nigeria, we are too good with this throwing the baby with the bath syndrome. Whenever anything is happening, just say, let's shut it down. Let's do this thing. It doesn't make sense. There are better ways to investigate issues and you get result out of it. At the end of the day, let me tell you this. This will just be like this normal panel and investigation in Nigeria. They will come up with a very long article and nothing will happen. The next thing, we'll wait for another 3 years again. Then we hear that a child again has been bullied in one school and the child died.
Now, speaking of parties involved, the parents are involved, school management, they are involved as well. Now, as a parent, what are the things you think parents should look out for when they are sending their children or their child to boarding schools? Because we heard that this school does not have a PTA, and that is the platform where parents and teachers, they meet and discuss, way forward for the school and for their children. And this school does not have PTA. So if parents want to still want to send their children to boarding school, consider what has happened now. Many people are beginning to say, they can't send their children to boarding schools. We hear of courtesan, we hear of rape, we hear of homosexuality and all whatnot. So any parent that wants to send their children to boarding school, what do you think they should look out for as a parent?
Let me address this issue of PTA. I know you're a parent and your children, they attend school. And I know they have a PTA in the school. But you know how PTA works. PTA is just a branch of the school itself. We just go there. The only time the PTA is relevant when there's a contribution to be made for a particular project in the school. But when it comes to making contribution that will affect the children directly, they don't implement it. So forget about PTA. PTA is like NSC. So leave PTA thing.
It's like a social gathering.
Social gathering. Let's leave PTA out of it now. This is a call for awareness for every parent. We are saying, don't boarding school. We should now look for a way, come up with another method of training our children. We should train our kids on how to speak up for themselves. You see, my little child, I always tell him I love my little child more than, I've said it before now, more than the elders. You know why? You can't oppress him. There is nothing you do. Even me as the father, he will tell me, Daddy, listen to me. I like that. You train your children to a point, allow them to be able to voice out. We had this maid in the house that was taking care of our kids. It's a story that we had to keep because of the relationship we have with the parents of the child. So there was a time the younger one went to tell the mom that, look at what he noticed though, that when nobody's at home, this girl is like, she's a teenager. That when nobody's at home, she would be pressing the neck of my eldest child. Pressing the neck of my eldest child. And she will not say sorry. She will not leave the child and say sorry. He will not ask. He will not tell them that, don't tell your mommy, don't tell anybody. Wow. They'll keep quiet. But one day, you know what happened? The younger one kept going to tell, Mommy, look at what Auntie this always do to us when you're not around. He beats us. Then do not call the child. Do what the child said. She started crying that she's sorry that that whenever they are at home, something will just come on her
always
and tell her to go and press.
Yeah.
That was the last day that gets spent in that house. But if not for that child, my younger one, that which means that's because that's why what I like. The other one will not say anything. Will just keep quiet. That's another Sylvester. He will just keep quiet, but the other one, can never. Nothing passes him. And even when the mother breaks something in the house, he will pick up phone and tell me.
So do you fault Nigerian parents for the way they bring up?
Yes, because we are too oppressive. Nigerian parents, we are too oppressive. We like respect too much. That's the problem. You see parents be shouting, why you call? If my child will call me Kewe, I'll say yes. Is that not my name? Yes, I think because that's not a sign of disrespect. But we are too oppressive. We want to, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, okay, fine. It's too much. Let people be, let our kids be expressive. Make your kids your friend. They should be able to discuss anything with you. Sylvester is that close to the parents, like they said, Sylvester should be free enough to tell the parents that this is what I'm going through. I read a report online. The father was saying that he will give Sylvester 60,000 naira. Less than a week, Sylvester will call and say, I need more money. You ask Sylvester, Sylvester will not be able to tell you what is happening to the money. He will not be able to explain. Which means that there is an issue, there's a friction with the relationship that the parents have with Sylvester. Let's call a spade, there's a friction. You are giving your child 60,000 every week. He blows the money. He's asking you for more money. You are asking the child, what is going on?
He wasn't even spending the money on himself.
He's telling you that I can't say anything. I don't have money. I need more money. You are giving the child more money.
Yeah.
More money.
Because you have money to try.
And you feel something is wrong with you.
Okay, so a Nollywood actress came out to say that parents do not have to send their children to boarding school except in very extreme cases where maybe the mother of the child is no longer alive, or in a case where the parents are divorced. Do you think that counts? Because so many people are coming out to say what would have been done to avoid what happened to Sylvester. But the truth of the matter is, if care is not taken, if the right training is not given to children, this particular thing would happen again, because the training is on both sides. Train your children to be able to speak up, and on the other side of the bullies, the parents who have bullies, train your children not to bully people. Now, some parents will tell you at home, if somebody slaps you, slap the person back. If a parent goes to school and gets a report that your son is very stubborn, he has been fighting throughout the day, some parents take it like a good thing. You're a strong man, you're a man, you're not a weak man. So most children grow up bullying and seeing it like a plus. I'm not sure those children, the culprits or the bullies, wanted to kill Sylvester. They only just found Sylvester was just a victim because he couldn't speak up. They bullied him, they beat him up, gave him a substance, a chemical substance to drink. That allegedly that enlarged his liver, and we saw the video. A lot of people saw the video. I couldn't even watch the video because
it's before his death. Kai, this done when college Lagos no trial. Now no fit conduct as children well to behave well. Can imagine the pain. See the faces of the people who cut short this life of this young boy.
So what is the right type of training to give? Because if a child begins to speak up too much, people will start saying, this one, he talks too much. Don't ever say anything where this one is. And the child on his own will start feeling withdrawn. We want to start helping people keep their secrets. Most of the times, children want to belong. They don't want to be left out. If they are going for something, or maybe there's a social gathering, they say, please, let's not take Sylvester. Sylvester, his own now. You will start talking. The next thing he has called his daddy. He's a daddy's boy. And you know how secondary school is now. Everybody just wants to belong. Everybody wants to be social. So do you think this is something that can actually be treated from the roots, curtailed, or is something we just have to live with?
The issue of Sylvester, the story, Sylvester's story, has a lot to do with parenting. Leave that issue of your children shouldn't go to boarding school. The parents stay in Warri. Dowen's in Lagos. What happened? So they should have a branch in Warri for Sylvester to attend. That's the choice of the parent. They want their child to go to that school. Forget it, boarding school, they can't scrap it. It's going to remain. Even in same country, they have boarding school. Come to talk about the issue of bullying. Children don't do what you ask them to do. The formation of our children, 60% has to do with what they observe. They learn from observation. Children, that's their formative stage. They learn a lot from observation. What they see their parents do, that's what they do. Check these children, these so-called bullies. They learned it from their parents.
Don't you think these bullies learned it from the senior ones? Because the
senior ones in school.
There's something they used to say when it gets to your turn.
I'm sure let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you, there's something we are missing out here. There's what they call capacity. People cannot do what they don't have the capacity to do. The fact that there are still some seniors in that school that they were oppressed while they were in junior class. Now that they are seniors, they can't oppress people. You know why? They don't have the capacity to do that.
They don't think it's relevant.
No, that's the capacity.
Close to being a bully.
Good.
I was this close
but
to being a bully.
But you didn't do it. You know why?
I didn't do it because of capacity.
Yeah,
I can bully in school. I was having a conversation. I can bully in school and go. My mother will.
But you will feel remorse. You feel remorse. You know why? Because I didn't know.
My mother will not believe that her daughter bullied because she will even look at me as this one. It cannot be my child.
You know why? Yes, that's where you are coming from.
Because that's why I say I saw a picture of one of the parents, my great son. She captioned a picture and posted. The boy did not look so innocent. I'm sure she would swear that her son does not belong to a secret corps. Most of these things people learn. I think maybe, you know how children are now. We are just like garbage in, garbage out for most children. I was in school. I thought school was like a happy place. I just wanted to go to boarding school because of provision. I wanted to be in charge of what I would eat 3 times a day. I didn't even know what I was signing up for. The first day I landed boarding school, I got punished for 4 hours that night. I couldn't sleep. I was squatting and flying my hands in the air for what I don't understand. I cried throughout that night. I was already slightly going into depression. But what was the encouragement they were giving me? Don't worry. When you get to SS3, you will do them back. Now, I saw a lot of my classmates, getting their own, pound of flesh, punishing people, being, everywhere, they'll report you. When they report you as a senior student, it means you're a don. When they call your name in the assembly ground and say you are a bully, you're suspended for 1 week, people would even clap for you. It was a cool thing to do. But I did not indulge because I just wanted to get out of the environment. I just wanted to pass my WAEC and just go because I was done with the environment. But a lot of people bullied and got away with it. And it was cool.
You see, well, and that's
they'll go back history and say it was cool.
Another thing we need to look at. Another thing we need to look at first. I go to my kids' their school. I see some of the teachers. I weep for myself. I say, come. So does that mean that from 8 o'clock, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, sometimes they stay 5, 10 hours. I say, so for 10 hours, you mean this, my child will be seated listening to this guy. You understand? Because the way our proprietors, they select teachers, you wonder. People that cannot even teach themselves. People that have character defects. They are the ones that they put as teachers. So this kind of things, we will keep having this kind of issues. My prayer is this: let God give us money enough to have this kid and push them out of this country to a system that works.
Talking about teachers, worst case scenario, most of the times the teachers have a very good rapport with the parents.
Yes.
So no matter how your child misbehaves in school, you're like, Christmas package from Mrs. Favor. I don't want to.
Can I tell you there was one?
Never complain about
there was a day I stumbled across my child their yearbook that had the pictures of teachers. I think I showed one of my close friends. My child carried Bible. They circled the face of some of the teachers. They were commenting on the wicked woman. This one that normally collects sweets from us, biscuit from us. I opened. It wasn't my present. I just said, let me pick up this from their shelf. Let me pick up their yearbook from their shelf. Big yearbook. I was going through the yearbook. I saw it was the eldest one, the writing. I said, why did you do this? Say, Daddy, I'm not lying. This one, there's no day he eats our lunch. You see, these are the kind of teachers training our children that our children are with from morning 8 o'clock till 5 o'clock.
All right, let's wrap up with this now. Talking about the school now, why the whole issue was still ongoing on social media, everybody crying. The school went on to put out a statement saying they were going to continue their online classes, classes online, and now they put another statement, not even feeling remorseful. The father has also said that the school principal has not called him till now to, condolence visits and all of that. Now, when this incident happened, what are the steps that you think the school should have taken in order to avoid this, backlash?
I'm not trying to play the devil's advocate. I feel so far, Doing as an institution has done the right thing. When issues like this happen, it moves from the hand of the institution to the states. So it's actually the Lagos State government that is in charge of this investigation. So whatever the school does now, it will look as if they are trying to alter the investigation. Press statements first that they are going to continue their school online. They shouldn't continue the school online. So the lives of over 800 students will be on hold because there's an investigation going on. I'm sure the reason why you are shouting they shouldn't have done that is because your child is not in that school. Just imagine somebody that want to write WAEC, somebody that want to write a particular exam will not write because somebody died in this school.
But if we look out for each other like this, things like this will not occur.
So that's means that the introduction to their life will not be. I know. So
yes, if we have to keep sentiments aside, if we have to keep sentiments, I'll have to agree with Mr. Kere Moduke, because a lot of other students are in that school. And their life must continue. So if the Lagos State government said, this was my take, if the Lagos State government said, shut down Dowen College and tell other schools to open their doors to take in students who want to, parents and students who want to pull out their children to other schools, maybe for less fees or maybe a certain percentage or something, because this is examination period. The children have to write their examinations.
I don't think of it, so they will not go home, stay for another 2 months. The children are innocent. If it was an issue that had to deal with adults, I would say, okay, adults can come together, but these are children. No, now I want to ask you a question now. An investigation is currently going on. You expect Dowen, this is Africa, to not send a delegation to Warri for condolence visits. Those
He's complaining about a phone call. He has not even
I'm coming. Those delegations, the Warri I grew up from, they will not return back.
That's another thing.
You understand me?
But how about a phone call, Mr. Kere?
I thought about that when we heard that, they flew about 2 of the kids out of the country, because we know that if we had seen them, during the heat of this wave, it would have been...
You are saying they flew them. Let me tell you, I don't know why social media is now where everybody goes to get facts from. They flew them. Is there any evidence to show that those kids are not in the country?
Not in the country.
Don't leave social media. Everybody's talking. Everybody wants to gather views. If everybody now Sylvester, I'm sure you TSL TV guys have to join the bandwagon. But the truth is this: let us allow investigation to continue so that they will have enough facts to say, okay, this is what actually happened. The school is still insisting that it's football match. So you might be shocked at the end of the day, because look at what went. I'm sorry, I know your time is past spent. When this issue of Cubana came up, also and Boston came up, everybody was shouting electrocuted. When the video came out, we kept quiet, 2 of us. True. We didn't go back again to do another live video to shout and say, why is there? I thought that is Nigeria for you. When issue comes up, social media, live videos start popping, Insta live popping everywhere. But when the truth comes, everybody will go inside, nobody will say anything again. Now, Cubana released their video footage to show that there's nothing like electrocution. It was simply somebody allegedly drunk,
tripped and fell,
and died, which can happen to anybody. And is the club not open now? It's open.
All right, thank you. We've exceeded our time. Thank you, Mr. Kere Modupe, for coming. Thank you, Faith Imai, for joining me on this conversation. It has been a very interesting and educative one today. We've exceeded our time, and that's the much we can take. We hope that the investigation that is currently ongoing will yield fruitful results and justice should be served. Thank you so much for taking our time to watch our program today. Please follow us on all our social media platforms and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your opinion, your views on every of our topic. Until we come your way next time, my name is Favor of Vienloba. Have a blessed day.
Stay connected to TSL Nigeria and get updates on the go all day, every day. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on TSL Nigeria Space TV and join our online family.